Greetings Internet, Didier here, and welcome to the exciting conclusion of Ed's Cards and Collectibles Win a Carbonite Box tournament. This is the finals. Both these players are 3-0. Round 4 of this tournament, featuring on the left side, Bill with his Revan yellow build. Bill doing incredibly well in this tournament, coming in 3-0 with Revan into this final round here. And myself on Gar Saxon ECL, the deck that I had won a PQ with, updated in the new set. And seeing an open here from both players. Great opens. Well, great open by Bill's side, an okay open on the Gar Saxon side. We got Aura Singh on the Revan side, able to push in 3 damage into that only 25 HP base on the ECL. It's very scary in that ground arena. And then myself opening Inferno 4. A little bit slow, but we'll have to see what ends up happening here. We're going to drop the client on my side. Going to save that Inferno attack, knowing that Bill is pushing in really strong already with this Shin Hati play on the ground arena, really contemplating on my side whether I want that 2 damage. And this is what you have to do against these low to the ground aggressive decks. I know that Revan is going to come out a turn earlier than myself. So deciding if 2 damage is worth the initiative here. Thinking about my next play and deciding if that 2 damage is worth the initiative. And what you really have to think of is, what are you going to do in your first action that's going to help you reduce damage, and is that 2 damage worth it? So I did draw into Power of the Dark Side there, so potentially that claim could have been good there, saving myself at least 3 damage if I open Power of the Dark Side. We may still see that Power of the Dark Side come out here, but not before Shin Hati gets in 4 damage into the ECL base here. So really scary things happening. Now, potentially it might have been better for Bill to have swung with Aura first. But I guess it doesn't really ultimately matter. Just an insane amount of damage coming in here. Stealing that shield with the shuttle ST and the client able to take out Shin with his own shield. Now, also potentially I could have double shielded the client there, knowing that I was going to make that trade. Might have been better for myself, but I wasn't sure how much space Bill was playing, and I was just thinking, okay, let me boost up the damage of my Inferno 4 there. But, seeing this Darth Tyrannus come down and then do some damage to the client, but then immediately claiming, showing that, that extra damage on the Inferno 4 may not be worth it there. And potentially might have been better for me to double shield the client. Also, another consideration that Bill might have wanted to do there was actually ambushing first and then shielding Darth Tyrannus. I think that might be better for aggro, because it makes Tyrannus then a 4-1 shielded, and harder for me to remove to keep that shield. And for your aggressive play, for your ability to push in damage to the base, that's actually better. Because it makes Tyrannus it's much easier to remove Tyrannus when he doesn't have his shield. So something to think about there. How much damage am I actually saving with that shield ambush, and is it worthy for me to shield second? But yeah, so having the initiative here, deciding where to go with this client. Actually gonna, I think, do the client bounty here. Deciding between which unit, knowing that no matter who I put the client bounty on, Bill's logical reaction is to swing with that unit regardless. So it almost doesn't matter where I put the bounty because he's going to be able to get his damage in regardless. But, myself being already at 10 damage on my very, very low HP base, this is getting scary on the Gar Saxon side. Doing another 4 damage with Tyrannus there. We're going to have to see what plays come out. I do have a sizable space fleet, which is nice, but not really helping with this ground onslaught that Bill is doing right now. I'm going to see the craving power here. Doing math to just think, what is the best way for me to reduce damage here? Getting in that 5 damage with the Inferno 4. And the Ready Malik. Wow, just an insane amount of damage coming in from Bill's side. Getting in that 4 damage myself. Catching up in damage. But we are about to see just an insane push. An insane push here. Taking out the client with Malik. Getting an experience. Getting overwhelmed damage. We are seeing the heights of the Revan build here. Getting another 6 damage to base. We are seeing the heights of the Revan build, getting me all the way up to 18, even after that 5 heal. There's a reason why Bill was 3-0 going into this finals match here. But we do have ECL online, and the Vader ECL is surely coming out. Yep, here it is, Vader ECL, the whole reason why the Gar Saxon deck is tier 1. Able to take out... Yep, so able to take out both units with the Gar Saxon damage. Of course, the Gar Saxon giving an extra damage to the Vader unit, making it 6 damage into Revan, and then popping the shield on Malik to take out both Revan and Malik there. So a little bit confusing because we didn't go through every single step, but it was shield on Vader, shield on Malik, Vader ECL into Revan for 6. Take out Revan, take out Malik. So, yep, that's exactly how that happened there. So he does still have his Aura Sing. And then 18 damage on my base. I think Bill asked me what Gar does here, which is why I'm showing him. I'm not actually flipping there. But Bill asked me what Gar Saxon did there. So I just wanted to show him. So in my hand, I do have another Craving Power and a Anakin. So potentially we have some plays, although I am just such high in damage. I can push in a lot of damage myself this turn. I have, 13 damage myself to push in. But I am at 21. I only have 4 HP left on my base. So I don't even know. Yeah, I'm actually going to flip. That's surprising. I guess because I'm thinking I need more of a force in the ground arena. I have to force a play here. But actually getting the No Good to Me dead here on my leader, just stifling my push. This is really scary because if I don't claim here, he threatens lethal with any sort of pump with Aura Sing. Yep, and I know that, so this is just very, very scary. I know that. Putting the reminder on, just reminding myself and Bill that I do not ready my Gar Saxon during the next regroup phase. Yep, shaking my head, knowing that, Bill, just a fire start here on the Revan side, showing the power of Revan. We haven't seen too many good Revan builds online, so it's Bill has been working on Revan since Force release, and just showing this tuned Revan build here, getting very far in this tournament. Yeah, so I'm just kind of weighing all my options here, knowing that if I claim he still has 4 resources up where he could play units, and then just really, really in a tough spot on my side. Yeah, the pump kills it. The pump wins. Really tough decision here. The thing is, especially when you're in high damage, and I think the reason I make this decision here is when you're in such high damage, the only way you're going to win is if you actually push damage yourself. So that's why I got that 5 damage in there. And the reason is because I have to kill him in order to win this game. Like, it's the only way I'm winning is if I end the game myself. Now, we do have 2 units with a shield here, which is interesting. Interesting interaction there. I do still have Vader, so I can take out 1 unit with the Vader attack. So we're going to see the claim here. Leave that 3 damage up. See the claim. And then we are going to make a decision on what damage is going to go where. Now, this is I think this is an interesting, very interesting decisions here. That shuttle that Bill dropped puts a very difficult spot in everything that's going on. So we're going to see the Vader attack, obviously, to kill one of the units. We are actually going to kill the Aura Singh. And I think the reason is because it prevents the Hotshot Blaster. Prevents the Hotshot Blaster because he would need a pump that could go on a space unit. And that's the reason I did that there. But do we have lethal? We have exact lethal. And see, and that's why that 5 damage was important. Oh, wow. Wow. What a crazy conclusion. Insane there. So Bill goes for the pilot with the Boba, but I have the Power of the Dark Side answer. Very, very interesting there. And also showing, I think I did have a timely in resource. So my other option was to replace shuttle, steal the shield, and then ambush into the shuttle there. Crazy. A really insane conclusion there, showing the power of Vader ECL and why the Gar Saxon deck is a tier 1 deck. But seeing the strength of Revan and the aggressive push with your deploy on 5 leader and the ability to play control with units with Malak, simultaneously taking out that client, preventing further healing, doing damage, and then boosting up Malak as well. Like, if I didn't have that Vader, the game was clearly over. Because not only did I need to kill 2-for-1 the ground arena with Vader, but I also got an additional additional unit defeat. So Vader actually 3-for-1 there. That was the only way that I was coming back with the massive damage that Bill was able to push early on in the game. So for you Revan fans out there, if you like Revan as a character, we are seeing Revan in all his glory in the height of the deck building that is Revan right here. A lot of people are on Revan Blue because of Always 2. LGG, multiple members of LGG like Revan, and I think we've collectively determined that Revan Yellow is his home because of all of the attacking tricks that you can do, and especially with the new Nihilus, Darth Nihilus. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It gives Revan the top end that it needs to succeed. You have a wild takeout there, taking out all my Vaders, my Maul, and then Emergency Powers as well. Emergency Power is a card that I've been testing in Gar Saxon. I've been mostly underwhelmed by it. It's a slow card, and also it's unusable in certain matchups like Yellow, where they can answer your big buffed up unit, either with a bounce or exhausting effects and things like that. So that's why we dropped that there. I mean, he did no good to me in game 1, so I know he's playing tricks. Pretty sure he also runs Will of the Force as well. So he has enough tricks to answer the emergency powers, and it's just not worth the risk. But I'm pretty sure I put in my legal authorities and then confiscate as well. You can see me opening up with a confiscate there in my opening hand. So we'll have to see. I know that confiscate actually wouldn't help me until about the flip turn. That's when we see kind of Bill's upgrades come out. I know he runs sabers, so... But I didn't want that confiscate sitting in my hand for 5 turns or 4 turns until it becomes relevant. I really need to kind of establish a foothold on the game and not let him do what he did to me in game 1, which get 18 damage on my base prior to my flip. So the Gar Saxon deck, really good at playing this grindy game, but susceptible to aggro with that 25 HP, making the early stage of the game very volatile. But opening up here with Krennic, facing off against the Deceptive Shade in the ground arena. Deceptive Shade, such a strong card in the Gar Saxon, in the Revan build, giving ambush to units like Shin Hati, Malik, and things like that. Revan loves his units to have ambush because it allows him to get the experience while also pushing damage to the base, right? Because the thing you don't want to do in Revan is just unit trade all day. And we're going to see the popping of the shield here in order to ambush. I'm going to take my 2 damage while I can. I know that Director Krennic is definitely going to die here. Yep, we get that ambush and then take the shield off of Shin Hati there. Now, this is a difficult choice, honestly, because I have 2 plays in my hand. I have a Power of the Dark Side, and I have a Knight of Ren. So not sure which one I want to play here, but I think I'm going to choose to develop the board because... And I don't actually know if this is the right choice. It is probably the more aggressive choice, but also with the Gar Saxon build, I have combos when I have units on board. And I know that my knight actually can kind of fight in the ground arena, but it's not going to fight for long because we have this ambush here. Just tons of ambush from Bill's side. Getting that ambush Shin Hati experience, and you can see how strong ambush is in Revan. Because getting that additional experience while also being able to push damage to the base is just massive here. Showing that I probably should have Power of the Dark Side last turn, but hindsight is 20/20, of course. Throwing down the Secretive Sage, hoping that he can answer one of those 3 HP units. Although the Darth Tyrannus now has 4 HP. Getting that 5 damage in on the Shin Hati there. Little bit scary here. Not sure what we're going to have come out. I'm going to claim I don't have another play. Unfortunate. This is not looking good on my side. We do have Vader in my hand. So we have a catch-up card that we can play. And likewise, I have that Craving Power as well. So we could see some trades here. And some reduction of damage. We'll have to see what Bill decides to do. This is the Revan flip turn. So, Revan, one of the difficult things to do with Revan is deciding when to go base and when to trade units. We're going to see Bill make some difficult choices on this turn. But we're going to see on my side the taking out of Shin Hati there with my Secretive Sage shield. And then Bill getting that 5 damage to base. I mean, only having 2 attacks on the base, but 5 damage to base, very significant. We are actually going to see the Craving Power here. Take out the Tyrannus, and then buff up my Secretive Sage. Buff him up to a 5/4, and get out of Revan's kill threshold. But we're going to actually see the Saber here. And Bill is going to threaten... Okay, because it's 2 resource for the Saber, and then 3 for the Ebon Hawk. Okay. Actually push to base here. Interesting, interesting. Yep. So, of course, the Grit is a big dampener on my ability to trade with units. I do have that. I do have the Vader ECL. The Vader ECL is online and it will come out. But unfortunately, because of Revan's high HP, I am only able to defeat Revan on attack here. Because Revan has 8 HP, so I'm not able to shield the Ebon Hawk. I have to shield the Revan and defeat the Revan on attack with the shield. Otherwise, I won't be getting the Revan with that attack there. Deciding between the shield on the Vader and the shield on the Secretive Sage is a choice there. I decided to go with the Vader to give him the increased damage. But definitely a choice there. The Ebon Hawk is alone in the space. Potentially giving that shield to Secretive might have been the better choice there. Unfortunate taking out my Secretive Sage there. Prior to the Gar Saxon flip, so I don't get that Craving Power back in my hand. And pushing in the 3 damage with the Ebon Hawk in space. I know I need to play hard control here, so you can see me taking out the Darth Tyrannus with my Gar Saxon. I still have that Power of the Dark Side in my hand. I'm sure we are going to see that Power of the Dark Side come out very soon. I also have a Onyx Squadron Brute in my hand. Am I actually not resourcing? It looks like I'm not resourcing. I want all the cards in my hand. That's wild. Very, looks like I have a Krennic. Yeah, I have a wide hand. I have a Krennic, several when defeated. I have a very low-costed hand here, so that makes sense why I didn't resource there. Because I could actually play 3 cards this turn if I wanted to. But Bill pushing in the 3 damage with the Ebon Hawk and getting me up to 21. We are at the end stages of the game here. I'm deciding if I want to just power the Dark Side, which I will. And the reason is because I need to get rid of that space unit. I have the ground arena kind of locked right now. Did Bill claim? It looks like Bill must have claimed. Maybe he doesn't have a play in his hand. He must have a handful of events. I know he runs a lot of events. I'm trying to look. He has the Nihilus. Oh no, he's been passing. And he does the Will of the Force. Good play here to reduce damage and stop that Vader from terrorizing the ground arena. And getting the Vader on the discard. Great picks here from Bill. Getting in my first real damage of the match, all the way on turn 6. You can see how difficult this has been. I've had to fight tooth and nail. And replacing my Krennic, just because I want the fancy one. I only have one of those, which I bought as a birthday present to myself at, I can't remember what store. I think it was Games and Stuff I bought it at. But we are going into the 7th turn, the technical 8 resource, but I think both of us, Bill actually is on 8, but I am only on 7. Dropping down the shuttle and stealing the shield. The shuttle should actually be double shielded right now. Yeah, that shuttle should be double shielded because he stole my Krennic shield. So that's something that we missed there. Yeah, really, really close match here. Wonder what's going to happen. I have a Darth Scion in my hand and a client. Looks like I'm going to pop the shield and heal 2 off of my base. And go to 19, I think. Yep. So we're going to go to 19 to survive one shot from that shuttle. It should have another shield still. But I am just flooding the ground arena and in preparation for my hopeful push to catch up in damage. I'm at 19. I think, oh, you know what I think? Bill actually passed there a few times and I claimed. Bill actually kind of egged me on with that pass there. He was telling me he didn't have another play. And he was passing just to get me to not play anything that turn, which he succeeded. Now, it would have been nice for me to play down that client, but I don't know if the Scion would have been a good play because I didn't really have anything. Nothing had been defeated on Bill's side. But we were going to get that 2 heal from Owen, getting me to 17, potentially gaining a foothold on this second match here. But that is considered attacking the base, so we have a fully armed and operational Darth Nihilus come out. Holy jeez. Wow. Is this a 3-for-1? We actually missed that there. That should have been a 3-for-1. It should have double triggered Nihilus. Yeah, that's another miss on us here. That should have double triggered Nihilus there. And because when played, it would kill Krennic. And then on attack, it would kill either Owen or Gar at the choice of the Nihilus player. So he would kill Gar and then go into Owen there for no damage on the Nihilus. So a little bit of a mistake there. Again, just a lot of effects going off and showing the power of an ambushed Nihilus getting that double trigger on both the experience and destroying the entire field. Yeah, so Nihilus is presenting 8 damage. And then me knowing that I think he had just... Yeah, he didn't even need that 3 damage, right? He only took the 3 because I had claimed, because Nihilus 1-taps me there. Yep, and that's the conclusion of Game 2. Now, Bill really blew me out there with that Nihilus. Would have been more of a blowout if we got that second trigger there, as we should have. But again, showing the power of Darth Revan in these matches, and that new fully armed and operational card, not a card that a lot of people were hyped about in the beginning of the set reveal, but definitely a strong card, especially in this build where ambushing is so important to squeak out that extra value in Revan. You can see here, reevaluating my sideboard is something I often do in games. The mistake that I made in this game was I took out too much of my top end, and I didn't have enough top end to close out the game. Because I'd removed like all my Mauls and all my Vader 7s in game 2. And we got so high in resource that I could have used them. So a mistake that I was correcting going into game 3. Just deciding that the confiscates are not worth it in this matchup. because me knowing that he only really has Saber for Revan, and I usually get Revan with Vader ECL anyway, so I don't see a reason to have the Confiscate. Actually removing the Hotshot Blaster, that's wild. Likely, and this is, resource... deciding with sideboards is very difficult. I'm actually putting in a timely reinforcements there, because he has been doing some space things to me. Taking out both Confiscates and deciding what exactly... Yep, looks like I'm putting in most of my top end back in. This is something you constantly want to evaluate if you made the right choice with the sideboarding. Really, really thinking about this. I think I joked with Bill that, if he won this tournament, I said, he knows that I didn't... he fully earned it. Not only coming into this with 3-0 with Revan, but I am tryharding so much right now to try to win this tournament. So it looks like I'm keeping one Confiscate, just on the off chance that I don't find the Vader ECL for that Revan Saber. Put in some of my top end, took out the Hotshot Blaster. The reason that I took out the Hotshot Blaster in this match is because we are not racing each other. This is not a race, and Hotshot is one of those cards that you want to kind of edge you out in a race situation when you're racing base damage. But Bill is in the driver's seat of this match, and I know that. He is dictating the pace of this match, and the Hotshot Blaster is just too slow of a card when I'm so behind in base damage. I really need to be playing a control game, and when you're playing a control game, Hotshot Blaster, not a good card. So that's why I removed that there. But going into Game 3 here, an epic conclusion to these matches. Really impressed by Revan and Bill's piloting of Revan in this tournament. I think anyone out there who's a fan of Revan should take note of the skill set and the card plays that are needed to make Revan succeed. I think a lot of us in the community are still on Revan Blue, but this Revan Yellow build is unbelievably powerful. And it really plays to Revan's strengths, I think, Yellow does. Because it gives him extra ambush. It gives him the ambush that he needs. And I think Revan in ambush is where you want to be. And it also gives you those pumps and aggressive plays to make use of his 5 deploy. But me starting out with initiative here, Secretive Sage, I'm wondering where that damage is going to go, because, of course, Deceptive Shade. Now, in my head, I'm thinking go to base, because again, you never want to do work for your opponent. And yup, I know I have more power on the board, and likely he wants the Deceptive Shade to die to give himself ambush. So never do work for your opponent. But we are going to see the 2 damage to base and then the client play here. The client, and very, very strong card against aggressive decks, and surely going to be significant in this match to get me extra healing. So wonder what's going to come out here with this match. This epic conclusion to one of the first semi-competitive events run in our local scene. Amazing to see Revan get into this finals match. We are going to put a bounty on Deceptive Shade, which is pretty awesome. knowing that Bill kind of wants his Deceptive Shade to die, but we're going to see that Will of the Force to prevent the heal. Prevent the heal there. And stop the damage push from the Secretive Sage. Interesting play. Not able to use the Force, but protect his Deceptive Shade there. Wonder what's going to come out. This is this is interesting. Wild. Absolutely wild play here. We are going to see the timely intervention for the Secretive Sage to come back. This is actually an excellent play. Because this not only takes the Deceptive Shade ambush away, gets me heal, and then potentially he's actually going to go to base. Great play by Bill there. Great play. Because if he went and he killed the Secretive Sage, my client gets Shin Hati for free, even with the experience. So great play, great foresight there by Bill, going into the next, thinking about the next turn. And again, it's like one of those Revan things that you have to think about. You know, going base versus taking unit trade. Shin Hati, a great card with that shield. And actually, Bill and I were talking about this later. You know, Shin Hati feels amazing when she's good when she's good, and she's really bad when she's bad. So it's but the timely Secretive Sage there is not a play that you would see every day. Just wild plays, showing the insane number of lines that the Gar Saxon deck has. The timely Secretive Sage, not a play that everyone would make there. Me bumping in to take off the shield with the Shin Hati, knowing that Bill is already pushing in heavy damage, and I have my shield protecting my client. Wonder what's going to happen here. We are actually going to see the Liberated Darkness stealing the client. Wild plays on both sides of the match right here. Protecting his Shin Hati this turn, looking to push in 6 damage and get me to 10 damage. Now, of course, Bill, that's a very slow play, right? The Liberated by Darkness. He's only getting 2 damage, but I think the main purpose is to protect his Shin Hati there. But not playing a card to develop the board, Bill will feel that next turn. Typically, you'd want to push a little bit more damage with a card like Liberated by Darkness. He's only getting 2 damage here, with kind of a little asterisk that says, you know, how much damage you're getting. Another timely intervention. Wild. Absolutely crazy plays here on both sides. Just sending my Knight of Ren to its death with a double timely intervention. Knowing I'm going to get my client back, just preventing that 4 damage. Wow. Craziness. For those of you watching the match, some Gar Saxons do not play 3 timely interventions, and I think we are seeing in this match why you play 3 timely interventions, and that is one of Gar Saxon's weaknesses is aggressive builds, and timely is one of those cards that lets you play a turn ahead, impact the board immediately, as we're seeing here. Yep, so we do have that Knight of Ren in the discard pile for that villainy card that's going to give Anakin the ability to take out Revan and take no damage in the process. Strong plays here. So all of that, all the timelies and everything, the craziness. We are going to see the Xian Flurry, though, with Darth Malik. Wonder where it's going to go. Bill should be completely tapped out because this is 6 resources. Yeah, Bill should be tapped out there because that's 6, and we are on the 6th turn. We're going to see the Gar flip here, though. Getting a commanding lead of the board. Like I said, Bill is feeling that loss from the Liberated by Darkness on the previous turn. You know, using that event instead of developing the board. Now, I don't know if he had to play that turn, but we are catching up in damage now. But I'm not giving him a leg. I'm actually going to take out the Malik. He has me too high in damage, is the issue. And I don't want to risk it. You know, I only have a 25 HP base. I have a board lead now. I'm where I want to be with Gar Saxon. We're going to see the Ebon Hawk come down. Unlikely we're going to see that Craving Power get slammed on my side of things. Yep, Craving Power. Deciding where to put it. Actually going to put it on Gar Saxon. Give him a little bit more HP. I always say spread the love on your upgrades. And so Anakin has higher damage and is a better unit overall. So spread the love a little bit. With your upgrades, but going to see another fully armed and operational take out the client with Aura Sing and get an experience. Seeing the power of Revan, like even though he's so far behind, and we are going to see a flood here from Krennic and everything. Anakin taking out the Aura Sing. But we're going to actually see, here comes the base push. It looks like I feel comfortable enough with my current board state and the healing from Owen to start the base push now. Of course, you know, don't a trap people fall into is playing too much control in these matchups. You do have to do damage if you would like to win the game. But yes, here we are, epic conclusion. You could see what an insane... Mostly this match is decided by the early stages. Like you could see here, Bill, you know, sending Aura Sing into Owen to prevent the healing. And it's kind of, you know, it's pretty much over if I'm being frank. You know, this game was really decided in the early stages. Seeing those early timelies on my side was amazing. So, yep, getting that Nihilus, and seeing actually here how good it was for me to put that Craving on Gar. Because it would have, yep, and seeing the end here with the lethal from the Craving Power. Crazy. Great matches. You know, one misstep there, and that was Bill's tournament, for sure. Definitely need to remember that double trigger on Nihilus for future matches. And seeing the power of ambush on both sides, you know, the double timely on mine, the fully armed and operational, and Chien flurries on Bill's side. This is an ambush style of play that's really, really fun to watch. And, you know, maybe the Liberated wasn't the best play there, potentially. Saving the Shin, but something to think about for the future there. But we had some great matches, and we will continue to release amazing matches, showcasing all the new cards and Secrets of Power. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe for all the best match videos, commentary, and deck profile videos for Star Wars Unlimited. And as always, turn your dial to Random Number Gaming.